Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? No audio. No sound.
You hear me?
Can you hear us now?
I have sound here. My board.
I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Whoa, I hear us. Where's that coming in from? All right, let me.
Is that a delay? Speaking. Can you hear me? Sounds like a delay.
There's always a delay, Sifu.
No.
But
Well, that was like a 10-second delay.
okay. Take two. Sorry about that. My laptop was not letting me get over to the screen. And when we go live on Zoom, it automatically opens it up in a browser tab. So I was hearing us while we were talking to you, which is obviously not conducive for us getting anywhere. And now Sifu Larry is blasting it super loud in the office for some reason, because I guess he wants to also add to the fun. So let's go ahead and see who's on. I'm just going to do a really quick reintroduction, and I'll make sure on the replay to clip all that chaos in the beginning. So, hey, everyone. Now that you can hear us, welcome to Enter Shaolin / Enter Tai Chi. This is our Kung Fu Q&A. We're so happy to be with you. We're testing out this new time, so thank you for joining us at a little bit after 5 now, but it was supposed to start at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We were running a little bit behind because I ended up having to download drivers and refresh the computer and a bunch of other not so fun techie stuff. But we're here and we're live. We're going to talk about Kung Fu, fitness, health, wellness, and anything else within reason. If you haven't already, please go ahead and let us know where you're coming in from the comments. It helps us to know where our family members are, but it might also help you guys to connect as well. So thank you in advance for doing that. If you haven't already, please strike the like, hit subscribe, and tap that bell notification to let YouTube know that, yes, I want to know when Enter Tai Chi goes live and when they add new videos. All right, family, I'm your host, CJ Jamie. This is Sifu Fu. Sifu Larry is somewhere back yonder, and hopefully he'll be coming back out. Hopefully you can hear us and see us loud and clear now. So let me go ahead and see who is on. Let's see. Yes. All right, cool. Melanie said Sifu Larry's sign language was very interesting. Yeah, I don't know if we can call it that, but you know, it was something for sure. Let's see who we have on. We have John, we have Caesar coming in from Tijuana, Baja, California. Good to see you on. And we also have Darren coming in from Western Australia. We got Victor. This is Namaste, Sifu Fu, Sifu Larry, and CJ Jamie. Namaste. And Ralph says, afternoon family from Dallas, Texas. And he also said, felicitations and greetings to Sifu Fu, Larry, and the hard-working backbone of NDN, CJ Jamie. Well, more like the hard-working backbone of Enter Shaolin. This would be the hard-working backbone of NDN. Okay, so but thank you. I appreciate
Bones.
right, or bones, yes. But thank you for that. Appreciate it. We also have Neri on, who says, how do I cook and clean when I'm struggling in life? You just get started. You know, I know that like this is with everything and reason this talks about health and wellness here. So you just got to start. Do something that is super easy to clean. Start with one room, one section of one room, and just do it. You're going to feel so much better. And then as you start with one thing and you get it done, you're going to feel better about life. Then you can move on to the next thing. If you have a lot of stuff to clean, you know, make a list. Start with the easiest thing just to kind of get back in the groove of getting your cleaning done. And then as far as eating, keep it super simple. but healthy. You know, go get some apples and tangerines and bananas and stuff and whatever else that you like to eat that's healthy but super simple. And just, you know, start there. And then you can work your way up into cooking actual full meals again. But you know, it's not unusual when people are depressed or just feeling really overwhelmed to not want to take care of themselves. But I promise you, if you force yourself to start moving that way, the depression will lift. But you got to get moving. And if you can add some exercise into that, that's also going to help you feel a lot better. What type of exercise? Anything that you'll do. You can go for a walk outside if it's not, you know, ridiculous weather out where you're at right now. Go and just get the body moving. If you like to dance, put on some good music that's uplifting and dance. Just move. Those things will help you to get out of your funk. If you want some more stuff to help you when you're not feeling depressed, feel free to head over to our blog. I'll see if I can find the link and I'll drop it. But we've talked about depression and stress quite a few times here at Inner Shaolin, and there's a lot more tips that I can share with you. So hopefully some of those help. But the big thing is start small, start simple, and just do it. You're going to have to force yourself to do it to get out of this funk. And if you have any friends and family that love you anywhere near you, I know not everyone has a lot of family around them. That would be me right here. But if you do, you know, even if it's just one person that you can rely on, let them know what you're going through. Maybe they'd be willing to come over and help you clean and maybe cook you a nice meal. There are awesome people out there. You just got to reach out sometimes. All right. Let's see. Melanie's coming in from Southern Utah. I think I might have already said that. Let's see. Everyone can hear us now. Yay. John says you're supposed to move 2 feet back again. Right. Maybe. You're at 25 decibels. I don't know if that's good or not, Ralph. Let me know. Sifu, I know you don't believe in blocking, only intercepting if need be. No, not really. That's not what we say, but okay. How realistic is only with a barrage of random punches? We're not really about intercepting. We're more like about striking the hit, you know, countering.
Well, the word
It's
intercept is fine. It means I'm connecting to it. So
no, I know, but when most people say that, they're just thinking of we're just going to like intercept and not really actually do anything. So I just wanted to add you were going to actually do damage through that interception. So that's why I wanted to add that in there. So how realistic is it to barrage of random punches coming at you? Does NDN rely too much on minor movement compared to gross movement?
okay, so it's the mindset that we look at. I had this issue with a student of mine who was an MMA fighter. He said the same question to me. He asked me, how would you handle when someone's coming at you really hard, throwing a lot of punches? And look, it's very simple. Don't look at how to stop all the punches. Look how to end him. So he basically, we sparred and he came at me with, you know, all these force, and I just took one move and I ended him. And the answer is very simple. When people like to throw all these punches coming at you, most people like to back off from the punch because they're trying to get away from getting hurt. They try to block it. My answer is just go forward and strike them right in the face with a straight line. It's easy, it's fast, very efficient, very effective. And it's unseen. Most people, when they throw a barrage of punches, they're going like this into that. When all these punches come out, most of the time they leave their center line open. You can throw for a kick if you're there and you see it, or you can go for a strike right in the face. I was talking about hands, so when he came at me and he started circling, movement coming in like all this, I just put my hands up. I waited for him, and as soon as his face was open, I just took a shot right in his face. It stopped him dead in his tracks. His head went up. He saw white. He didn't move anymore. His attack was done, and I could see he was really, really mad because I hit him. But I didn't mean to hit him that hard, but he came in at me with quite a bit of force. But it ended the fight. It stopped him dead in his tracks. Look, it's the same principle as this. If a guy had a knife and he had 2 knives in his hands, and he started coming at you really hard, and he had a long sword, right? Would you go after the arms and try to block the knife from attacking you, or would you just go right for the straight and then for the stab? So it's the same principle. Go for the strike. Why are you worried so much about what he can do to you when you need to focus on what you got to do to him? Yes, you can take a step backwards if you want ready, but if I'm squared and ready to go, as soon as you want to throw the punch, you should be not looking how to stop it. You should be looking how to enter. I like that saying. I said to my students, 5 for 500 all the time. Take a 5-pound hit to give a 500-pound hit. There's no fight in which you can say every time I fight, there's this move where I will never get hit. I will never get struck by someone. It's very highly likely you will get hit. but the idea is to make the hit as minimal as possible while you do the maximum damage as possible. So start focusing on the striking part rather than the defensive part. So if a guy does want to throw a lot of punches, and I'm sure Larry had a story he told me before. He had a fight with an MMA guy who was talking about punches and everything, how Kung Fu lacked power blow. So he weapon struck his arm. When the guy came, that guy stopped the fight. He didn't want to fight more
Most
because
people don't
he
want
was in a lot of pain. Because we're not blocking someone's punch. We don't let them hit us. We hit them. So when you bring your arms up and you're letting him hit you, then you're creating receiving hands. We don't do receiving hands. We do initiating hands. So when someone's punching me, I'm bringing my arm up so I can strike the limb, not so I can stop it from striking me. So the mindset that I have is find the strike first and go at that striking point. Stop looking at what he can do to you. Stop thinking what he can do to you, and start looking at what you can do to him. He throws a straight punch, doesn't matter. Bring the arm up to a guard and go in on the straight line, or throw the kicks. And these are martial arts movies. I know it's movies, but the concept is the same. You ever seen like a great kung fu fighter fight these guys who are okay or somewhat good? What do you always see them doing? A guy throws a punch, why punch? A guy throws a side kick right into his body. Or he goes straight in for the line and just turns his body right for the strike. He's not looking for the block, he's looking for the attack. He's seeing the opening and he's going into that opening. And that's what a great fighter does. He doesn't worry about what someone can do to you. He's going to focus what you'll do to him. So we don't block, we don't receive energy. If my hand goes up, it's not because I'm letting him hit me. My hand goes up and I'm creating a strike from that. I'm not trying to stop a strike. I'm trying to make one. So my mindset is when somebody throws punches at me, I'm not looking at how not to get hurt. I'm looking at what I can hurt. So I don't think of, oh, he can hurt me. I'm backing away. I may take a step backwards so I can root, so I can make a strike, not so I can stop one. So that's the main thing that you want to focus on. Like, how do I create damage in my movement, not prevent damage in his? It's the wrong mindset that allows people to start going away from pressure, trying to get pressure off of them, which is why I teach my students all the time, I don't like the defensive mindset because it is about stopping what he can do to you rather than what you can do to him. So I see an opening. I'm going to go for the strike. I am going to go for the most powerful strike I can make. And straight line punches is one of the best strikes you can make because it's fast, it's powerful, it's more accurate. So it has a high recovery rate. So, and I've demonstrated all the time. When people want to spar, I say, go ahead. I go, we can spar. And I just wait for that opening. I see them commit to weight. I'll go after, like, I see them bring the arm away. I go right to the face. I see them drop the hands to bring the body down. I go right to the face. I go for the strike. I don't go for the block. If they happen to strike when I'm not ready, then yes, that's a different story because I'm not ready. So I might have to step back and bring the guard up to bring the shot. And I can reset because a fight, unless it's a guy who just continues. If I would say that he kept continuing, I would bring my arm in front of me like this and bring it right into the body. You don't realize how effective that is, how fast that is. When people think that they can come in, they will open their body coming in under these swings. And if you just learn to stay in tight and just turn your body into the strike, you can pretty much connect very, very quickly and do a lot of damage to them. So
Yeah,
that would be
that
my
does not feel good.
that would be my advice, and I've done it a lot of times when I've done a demonstration, when I spar people, I just go for the straight line hit. I just had somebody who was a Muay Thai guy. He's like, well, what am I going to throw all these barrages at you? How are you going to stop it? I said, I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to strike you. I'm not here to look at what you can do to me. I'm going to focus on what I do to you. And so he went in, came in with all these, I just took one simple side kick right to his gut. And it ended it. I didn't look for I'm not looking at his hands. So, is he going to throw a punch? He's going to throw a kick. I was like, well, as soon as I see the weight come in, I see commit the body, I see the hands open up the body, I go for the strike. I don't look at what he does.
So do you think we rely too much on minor movement compared to gross movement? That was the second part of the question.
Our movements should always be small. They should never be big, should never be telegraphic. Movements should be, I tell my students all the time, you shouldn't have to get energy in your hands. You should always have energy in your hands. So you shouldn't have to be like looking like you're building to get energy. If you have to get energy in your hands, there's something wrong with the way you're holding your energy and your structure. I already have energy in my hands. So when it does, I'm already there. I don't have to move to get there. That's when people waste that time, waste the energy. Your movement should be small. I always tell my students, movement should always be small. It should burst. It should be precise. It should be direct. It should be on purpose. So these are the things that you have to have behind what you're doing. You can't try to defend into an attack. You can't try to build up energy. You have to have it. You have to have energy hands. Like I tell my students all the time, no life in hand, no can stand. So if you're like this and your hands are like this isn't hand ready to strike because you'll have to bring it up. This is hands ready to strike. I'm cocked. I'm champion. It's like a snake snaking in. So whenever I just bring the strike out. I don't try to get my energy up. I have my energy up. I don't have to get my hands there. It is there. I don't look to go after the guy. I look to go into the guy. So these are all the mindset that you have. That's why I like to tell people all the time, we don't focus on defensive techniques because it puts you in the mindset of trying to get the danger off of you rather than you be the danger on the opponent.
That was weird. I don't know if you guys saw the glitch in the matrix, but I did on my end. Hopefully it didn't show up on your end. That was very odd. Hopefully it will be okay. All right, so let's keep moving forward here. Let's see, John Jay said, sorry, let me go with the manual first. Emmanuel said, well done. John Jay said, if you know where Timbuktu is, that's where I am. So you're out there. Okay, got it. Room says Wing Chun, perfect route, perfect structure, forward intent, staying sticky, very effective Wing Chun. Yes, it could definitely be very effective when done right. Let's see. A said, sorry, another question. I know in NDN you need to arc someone to overcome their power, but how is that possible with a weaker person against an arm drag or ankle kick? Maybe
I
kick?
think he might say kick.
I'm thinking
or,
kick.
Or a lock.
Maybe. I'm not sure, but feel free to clarify on that. But we can answer the first part. So how is that possible with a weaker person against an arm drag? Let's start with that one.
Okay. The guy's strength is only has value when you start resisting. So once you start resisting, then strength becomes a factor. Our goal is to create resistance through passive resistance, not active resistance. The difference between the two is passive resistance is structural integrity. It's maintaining your structure without having to fight for it. Active resistance is trying to overcome the force that's in front of you. Passive resistance is maintaining the structure you have. So when people add pressure greater than you, then you have to learn to convert that pressure. When people learn to arm drag, most people tense up. They try to prevent that from happening. You have to learn how to bring the energy into your wrist like I teach all the time. Then you learn to manipulate. So if she has my arm, like we'll do an arm bar because I'm gonna have her drag me on the floor. But if she's pushing my arm like down like this, I'm not trying to fight this. This is the common thing people do. Let's go back so you see the camera. But no, give me a good lock. There you go. It's like when people lock your arms, people like you drag. It doesn't matter. Our purpose is to take the energy out and bring it back. So I'm not trying to prevent this going this way. I will take the energy there, feed it towards her shoulder here, bring it to the elbow, bring it back, and then use my wrist to come back. And you see, I can just control that now, and it works. It doesn't matter how strong it is, but you're never attacking the line. You're attacking the arc. I tell people all the time, we're never attacking someone's strength. If I'm attacking her arm, she's got her extensor flexor muscles, she's got her biceps, she's got her triceps, she's got her delts, she's got her pecs, and her back muscles to prevent this or like hold me tight. So she can engage this. So anytime I'm feeding into her arm, she's allowed to engage this. And so she can hold me tight. We don't fight this. That's too much, especially if she's much bigger and stronger than me. So you only attack the joint. That's why we use wrist to attack the joint. So however she grabs it, it doesn't matter. Hold me tight. Both hands.
Both hands?
Yeah. So if I do this, can you hold that?
Yep.
All right. So I'm feeding her arm. Our goal is not to attack the arm. Our goal is to attack the wrist, through the wrist. So hold me tight. Hold me tight. And you see, the reason why it's hard for her to hold me because I won't feed energy to her. If I do this, say I'm pushing into her arm, she's engaging. I don't do that. I actually want to take her strength out of her arm into her wrist, but I'm the one controlling the wrist. So to exaggerate this, now this is not how it's supposed to look. I'm just doing it so you can visually see it. So let's go this way.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna feed against her arm that way. And again, this is way bigger than it should be, but it's so you can, for all intents and purposes, so you can visually see what I'm doing. So hold me tight. Did I go into her arm? Did I manipulate her wrist? Now that's way bigger than it should be, like I said. But did you see me pushing or pulling against the grip or against her arm? No. I fed it to my wrist and I used my wrist to create the arc. The arc is important because she can't find the line to resist. As soon as you push into a line, they can go opposite. Our goal is never to force push against the line. It's to find the arc behind what you do. And it's always through the wrist that you want to do that through. And then the wrist can turn to the point of contact. So sometimes she's grabbing here, then I'll turn the wrist to make this point, bend her wrist. So
Okay.
she's grabbing me here. Obviously, I can't do this because that's not the point of contact here. Contact point is here in this part here. So I would drive to my palm. I would rotate the wrist to make this bend into her. So that's the goal of learn how to control people's energy. Strength is not a factor.
He's a little red.
Yeah. Strength is not a factor until you make it one. Nobody can use strength against you, and first you resist. Strength can't be applied without resistance being present. It's a fact. It's like you can tell you can bench 100 pounds or curl. Let's say you curl 100 pounds. It's because you got 100 pounds of resistance. Now, if you're trying to use your strength and curl this, and this thing was light as hydrogen molecule, then you're never going to tell how strong it is until you have resistance. The strength can't be measured or applied without resistance present. So if our goal is to learn to convert energy and drive it to the wrist so you can arc the wrist, then he can't use the strength against you unless you first fight back. So our goal is to learn how to bring all the energy into our arms. So I tell my students all the time, you have to develop your arms like an escalator. No matter where it is on your arms, no matter how much pressure you put, you got to bring it to the wrist, and you got to learn how to turn the wrist to convert the energy through an arc one way or another. Lines cannot be used because he would just go the opposite. Arcs has to exist. Now, does it mean that you can stop them? No, because they can counter arc you. But their strength is not going to be the factor that stops you. It has to be their skill. When they use their strength, then they won't be able to apply it against you unless first you resist. So, and I demonstrated, I was actually talking to a guy I met, and he was like this big. He was a very, very big black guy. And he had big arms. And I demonstrated, again, we talked about principles, linear motion versus circular motion, learn how to convert energy as opposed to oppose energy, learning how to return energy as opposed to oppose energy. All of these principles, like, wow, he's like, I've heard all things like this. I wouldn't believe it unless I saw it. So I was able to demonstrate it, and no matter what he did, and his hands were big. And I just had two hands on my one grip, and I just went, and I turned his hand. He couldn't hold me no matter how hard he tried. I said, use force. I said, do anything you want, or you can fight me and prevent me from getting out. You know what I'm going to do? Try to stop me. And he couldn't, because again, he kept trying to find that line. Every time he tried to push me hard, I was able to convert it. So he couldn't find the line because I wouldn't go the opposing line for him to find and feed. So everything he did, I just turned it to I drove it to my wrist, then I turned the wrist back on the point of contact. So that, like I said, that is our goal to do all the time. That's why strength doesn't become a factor. It only becomes a factor when you go into that line. If you don't do the line and you learn to control the wrist, then you'll be fine. If you fight the line, you won't be fine.
Fight the line, you won't be fine. Write that down, y'all. All right, so let's see here. Emmanuel says, please, I want to learn Kung Fu. How can I go ahead? Go to AnnaShaolin.com/join and sign up and get started. Make sure you confirm your subscription email. There'll be a welcome email that will tell you how to set up your orientation, set that up, and we'll help you get started and help you figure out the best things that you need to be doing for the next 6 months to a year for your personal goals for your Kung Fu journey. Broom says, Dallas, Texas, go Mavs. You'll have to, is that a football team? Help me help you. But go Mavs. I'm not sure what sports team that is. All right, please forgive me in advance because I'm really not into that type of sports. Let's see, Ross says, was listening to a late night talk show and the guest was talking about wellness and health and everyone taking medications for a number of illnesses. One of the recommendations was doing Qigong. Yeah, Qigong is like good for so many things. It really is one of my favorite things to not only do for myself, for my mental health and well-being, but also it's like anyone that's in an orientation with CJ Jamie knows that's the biggest thing that I like highly implore you guys and gals do on a regular basis because it is one, very simple to learn, two, easy to implement into your day-to-day life, and three, it will pay you back in dividends. So I'm very happy that you heard that, Ralph. Hopefully you are staying up on your Qigong. All right, John Jay says, I find the volley of strikes, they tend to be weaker and I can take more to get in and give back a lot more. Yeah, a lot of people that have to, do a bunch of strikes tend to, like you said, be weaker strikes. Absolutely. Frim says, once you start blocking and retreating, you got to keep blocking until you can find a sweet spot to start attacking. The best defense is a better offense. Yeah, we do counter offense. So we wouldn't recommend just blocking and retreating. So you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, you're allowed to yield backwards. You're not allowed to go backwards. You could take a step backwards as long as you have forward intent. These are all fine. You cut the
Yeah.
angle as long as you're not moving to get away, but to get in. So the rule is, like I tell my students all the time, there are two things you have to ask yourself behind every technique to see if it's actually good. One, does it have forward intent? And two, can you do it in half a second or less? If you fail to meet those two questions as a yes, then fill the technique out. It won't work in reality. So every movement you have to have forward intent. There's no forward intent. You're not creating pressure into the opponent. You're trying to get it off you. Again, you're playing defensive. And two, if you take long half a second, by the time you're ready to strike him, he'll throw a second, third, or fourth punch in your face before you could even counter him. So these are the two techniques you have to have. When people are doing moves where they're taking arms, swinging underneath, bringing it around, doing all these sweeps, forget it. It won't work. Nobody's hands are going to stay there more than half a second. That's why every movement you make has to execute it within that half a second time frame. Because nobody in a fight, in reality, unless you're in a martial arts club or they're paid to do this, in a movie, will leave their hands out there for you to do all these moves. It's just absurd. It's not real. So when somebody punches, it's here and it's gone within half a second for the next one to come. That's why you have to learn how to intercept and go right for the strike right away. If you're going for the block and trying to do these moves, it's going to take you too long. Nobody wins a fight by defending. They only win by attacking. So learn how to attack. And I've asked this question many times. If you were in a fight and you had an option to be only the attacker or only the defender, one of the two. So either you attack and you don't defend, or you can only defend and never attack. Which one would you want to be? The guy who's just defending and blocking, or the one who's going to be hitting? And most people's answer are they'd be the one that's hitting. Okay, so if your answer is that in your head, then why do you want to go to school where you learn how to do self-defense? It's a wrong way of doing it. This is why Muay Thai is good, boxing, because they train to attack. They train to do damage. They fight a system that only does defense. They always lose because they're not the one attacking. They're not one setting the pressure. They're not the one setting the pace. They're not the ones controlling the fight. The one who controls the fight is the one who knows how to drive the energy forward and put that on the opponent. The one who's receiving it, he has to recover from the impact, from the hit, from the loss of balance. He has to look for the next one to block, because that guy who's punching knows how he's going to punch. The guy who's blocking, he has to look for it and try to meet it in that time frame, which is difficult to do when people throw a lot of punches, which is why defenses doesn't have a lot of effect in winning a fight. That's why when the first question was, what happens if somebody throws a barrage and punches, you don't look how to block. You lose. You look for the attack.
Go in. Yeah.
He goes in with all these boom, just take a step, turn your body, make it thin, hardest for him to hit, the easiest for you to strike. And then that has way more success than it is for trying to block, see him turn his hand here and move around like that. Oh, that's just nonsense.
In case you guys were wondering why I was smiling and laughing, I don't know if you guys could hear Maria meowing really loud, but she decided that right now was a good time to have a snack. So that's why I was laughing. Let's see. John Jay says, once you start blocking, you're finished. There's no blocking, only counterattack. And then Ralph said, with my T-Rex arms, small is great. That's good to know. I'm glad that could be of use to you, Ralph. LT Newbie says, find the center point after arc. Broom says, in fighting, gross motor movements are easily to grasp and to work on. Fine motor skills and Kung Fu takes longer to master. So wrestling and boxing are more reliable because of the learning curve.
I won't say reliable. It's easy to pick up.
Yeah.
Is it more reliable? That comes down to the person they're training and their the training that they were doing under the teacher and how they were taught. It comes down to the fighter, but it also comes down, because you take the world's best driver, the best driver in the world, put in the slowest car possible. You have the average driver put in the fastest car possible. You put them in a race, still the car with the fastest car with the average driver can win. No matter how good it is, you have your training, your knowledge, but then you have the tools behind it. So it comes down to those issues. And then sometimes once in a blue moon, luck has a factor. One day it was just not your day. You were tired, you were sleepy, where you stopped this type of strike 1,000 times all the time. This the one day you just didn't. So luck has some factor to do it.
Yeah. And I would just say, to say, but again, it comes down to the individual and the training, because I've seen people that learn our martial arts and could go against someone that's been training for much longer in many disciplines and be able to school them. So it's really just about the training at the end of the day, whether it's boxing, wrestling, kung fu, whatever you want to call it. That's why we say don't let style define you, let energy refine you. It all has merit, but it's going to come down to energy projection. It's going to come down to who's the more skilled fighter, period. The style is irrelevant. Let's see. Vroom says in the beginning, yes. Caesar, the best structure for counterattack, is it down PM or pinky side?
I don't understand.
I'm not sure I know what
What's
the,
down PM mean?
I don't know. What is down PM? Help me help you, Caesar. PM like as in sleepy time, nighttime? No, I know that's not what you mean. Let me know and we'll go from there. All right, we'll come back to that. Let's see. John J says, just to let y'all new people know, they are really trying to not let Sifu do whatever they are demonstrating, but they can't stop it from happening. Yeah, I know it probably doesn't look like it, but that's why I was showing you how red his arm was. Like I'm like actively squeezing and holding him. I'm not trying to let him do it. As a matter of fact, the more I try not to let him do it, just the more it hurts me. But yes, John's come to one of our seminars, so he knows. He knows what's up. Thank you for that, John. Swag says, good day. What time and day do you do your live Q&A so I can watch it in Australia? Well, we're live right now. So right now, so we started at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I know you guys don't do daylight savings time. We just had daylight savings time last week. So whatever that converts to in your time, go check it out. Just double check. 'Cause I know we have some people. I made sure to put that in the email. Also, if you're not on our email list, anyone that's watching this, if you're not a member to entershaolin.com or if you've never got a free intro course, make sure you go to entershaolin.com/gifts. Make sure you subscribe and hit the little notification thing that comes through your email so we can send you emails because we always send an update as well to let you guys know when we're going live. But as of right now, we've switched to this time. So 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the one here live on YouTube, and then 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our members only one that we do right after this. Hopefully that helps you. All right, Darren. Darren is our fellow Australian, so hopefully you guys can connect. Swag. All right, Lamar. Hey fam. Hey Lamar, how you doing? Baki says, bear with me, but that reminds me of Star Wars. In the first fight, Luke Skywalker was pushed back by Vader's attack. In the third movie, Luke was the one setting the pressure. Awesome. John Jay says, Trisha got mad at me when we first met. She could not land a hit. I was a gentleman and only stopped her from hitting me. She was mad I would not hit her. In that case, stopping the attack without counterattack was okay. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I understand where she's coming from, because you wouldn't be doing her any service if you're not actually like, treating her like one of the bros in regards to this. So yeah, Sifu Larry has a philosophy. You probably guys have heard it before. He does not treat me any differently than any of his students. If anything, sometimes he trains me even harder than some of his students because as a female, I'm going to be dealt with people all the time that are going to go, she's just a girl, whatever. So let them come. Let them come. So yeah, next time you're sparring with her, like give her some realism. I'm sure you probably already do that. You guys have been married for a while. I imagine she would not have put up with that for very long. So I could be wrong though, but Trisha is pretty feisty. So let's see. John said kinda, yep. Rob says you're right, Jinx. Yep. Hey, we got a couple more minutes, fam. Let's see. I don't think we got anything back from Caesar. Caesar, I don't know if you can hear us, brother, but let us know what you're talking about with the down PM. You said the best structure for counterattack, it is down PM or pinky side. I'm not sure what the PM is. Fill me in, brother. Help me help you.
It's not charging.
Oh, I see why. I'll fix it in a moment. All right, but these ones are charging, which is the only ones who really need charged at the moment. So we good. We got everything trying to not have a battery. So we got things charging up. All right, family. Other than that, we do have a birthday sale going on for Seafood Larry, which I'll be emailing out about tomorrow. So again, if you're not on our email list, make sure you go and check that out. His email, or not his email, his birthday was on the 6th, so it just passed. So I'll be sending that out to you guys and gals. He got quite a big birthday present here in the USA on the 6th. If you know, you know. If you don't, sorry you don't. But yeah, so we'll be celebrating. Also, tomorrow is Veterans Day. Thank you to our veterans. We really appreciate all that you do. I will have an extra special offer for you guys and gals that are veterans. So feel free to reach out to me in regards to that and let me know your status and all the good stuff. And I'll make sure to hook you up with a little extra discount on that birthday sale. If you're not part of Inner Shaolin, I'm telling you guys, you definitely want to join the training hall and get access to our full training hall. It's going to save you the most amount of money and time moving forward. So definitely check that out. If you're not on our mailing list, again, go to endershaolin.com/gifts. Make sure you subscribe to that. You'll get a welcome email so you can sign up to the intro lessons. And that way you will be connected with us and you will get the email when I send that out tomorrow morning. All right. Vroom says, Navy guy here. Well, thank you, Vroom. I appreciate your service. You are awesome. Ralph says, we'll see you at 6. That's right. And hopefully we'll be able to find out what Caesar was talking about because I guess he's away from the computer at the moment. Vroom says, shout out to all my shipmates. Baki says, one question. I love kicks. What are your favorite kicks?
Mine, in combat, I love the shuffle side kick and closing up the distance. I like the spinning back kick in terms of feigning. I like the front kick in terms of closing the distance when someone's charging at me. So those are my favorite round kicks. I mean, they're all really good, but to me, the most effective, which I don't even see people in the MMA world doing, like, why don't people just do a shuffle side kick? It is very fast, very powerful, and it's safe to recover as long as you're not committing your weight. So you can shuffle side kick. If you ever watch Bruce Lee spar, he's always doing shuffle side kicks. He'll do round kicks and shuffle side kicks and front kicks. Those are the 3 main things he'll do. They have good range, they have good power and good recovery system. So I like shuffle side kick. If I'm like that here, Caesar James here, and I'm more like this in this range, and we're like this, I love shuffle side kick. If I see I go into this. If I see her coming to punch me, I go into the front kick. If I want to attack and I want to set it up, I will go into that, see, and I make them blink. I do a spinning back kick. Those are my 3 favorite ways of setting up an attack or getting in an attack or closing in on the attack. Those are my 3 favorites. The most powerful, I think, would be, and the most accurate would be the shuffle side kick. It's direct. You get a direct line of sight when you're attacking. Spinning back kick is very powerful too, but you do lose sight of that opponent. So you have to make sure you're very good at spinning back kick and get your timing right and everything. But shuffle side kick is very powerful. You get to turn your hips like a spinning back kick does. You do turn your body into it. You do get to move your body into it, and you can learn to snap that in. And it's devastatingly powerful. Okay, 360 back kick or spinning back kick. They're very good too, but again, you will lose sight of your opponent. That's why feigning is really good. That's why I like to feign, because I want them to see that and not see my body. It does take a little bit long. Excuse me, hiccup. It does take a little bit longer to set it up, but again, that's what feigning is. It'll buy you that time to get them to think here. They might shuffle back, but that's okay. Spinning back, it does have an extended range for you to close in the distance. So even if they take 1 step backwards, that spinning back kick does allow you to move. You're like taking a full step into someone while doing that. So front kick is good for closing the distance when the guy comes at you. If you don't have that space to do a shuffle side kick, front kick is good when they close in the distance. So those are my 3 favorite kind of kicks.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Sifu. Baki, oh, hold on, let me go back. Robert says, belated happy birthday, Sifu Larry, and many more. John says, sorry, Vroom, Army here. Thank you for your service too, John. Baki says, happy birthday, Sifu Larry. Vroom says, shout out to you, John. Sorry for your green uniform. John Jay says, I like to get a ride from you all in the Air Force. LOL. Ralph says, happy birthday, Larry. You're on the 10th. Mine was yesterday. No, his was on the 6th. The 6th. So that's why I said he got a very big birthday present. Hopefully you caught what I'm saying. Okay. So happy birthday to you. Yeah, something like that. Let's see. But yes, happy belated birthday. Absolutely. Robert says, thanks, Maureen here. Thank you, Robert, for your service. Lalo says, dang, what happened to you guys? Sifu needs, oh, come on. Come on. No, that's called being
Wisdom.
natural, okay? Nobody here dyeing the hair and putting a bunch of chemicals on their head that cause cancer, okay? Get yourself some knowledge there. I'm glad to hear from you guys again. I've been slacking off on my training and it shows clearly. Might be the hair dye. Watch out for that stuff. John Day says, I love to get I love to get to hide in the trees. From says, John, you are the most welcome. We are a taxi cab for the green guys. I love hearing you guys go back and forth. That's awesome. Baki says, excellent kicks. John Day says, all in fun. I respect all branches of service. We all have our place. Amen, brother. Amen. Robert says, happy Veterans Day to all and happy birthday to all the Marines. And Rob says, oh. All right, family. Well, it is 6 p.m., so we are going to wrap this baby up and say God bless. Thanks for joining and being a part of our online family here at Enter Tai Chi and Enter Shaolin. Our other family members, the ones, that are inside the membership site, we're going to see you guys in a couple minutes over on Zoom. Make sure to check your email if you haven't already. Everyone else, we're going to see you guys and gals next week. Remember, time change, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday. Also next week, we will be going live at 10 a.m. No, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Enter Tai Chi, sharing Sifu Fu's live class. And then we'll be doing another hour and a half for our members only at 12 p.m.
Hour and a
Eastern
half or
Standard
half
Time.
hour?
Well, an hour and then a half hour for questions for the
Right,
members.
yeah,
So yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, all right, family, you guys are awesome. We'll see some of you in a few minutes. Bye, everyone.
And thank you